There's a QAnon conspiracy theorist. His name is Dave Hayes, and he wants to make sure everyone who's been following knows. The reason why all of those things that they've been predicting have not come true is because you're being tested. Watch.
No one has been more pissed off at Q than me for the 3 years we sat through of waiting for the arrests, thinking that the arrests were just around the corner, like it was just going to happen in this next week. We're going to see people arrested, and it never happened. So I have as much frustration as anyone does about how long we've been waiting for the arrest to happen. However, Q did warn us on the front end of the conversation that a lot of what he was going to put out was going to be disinformation.
Yeah, very true.
Information, disinformation designed to make the bad guys make wrong moves. So you had to get real with that. If you're going to buy on to the Q thing, you have to know up front half of what Q is going to tell you is not going to be true. It's for the purpose of psychological operations, and that's just how it is.
But why? But why? For psychological operations to make the bad people do bad things. I think we're seeing it right now with Dave Hayes. Before we get some of the background, first I want to get your thoughts, Francesca, because this guy's has done.
I mean, the Blue Man Group really fell off. Just like bring them back. They were good. They had their moment. A reprise, just a reboot. Put them back on Broadway. Prevent them from, turning to the dark side. Save them. Okay, here's what I will say. It's funny to me, but it's also insanely terrifying because this is a week where, and it was like one of the stories that sticks in my mind that of course mainstream press never covers, which is a Michigan man killing his wife because he thought his wife was a pedophile running a sex ring because he's a QAnon nut. And he is mentally ill. He is not fit to stand trial. And I'm reminded of a man who killed his 2 children, young children, because he thought his children were part of a QAnon plot. Like, guys, it is bad. It is really bad. And so now we're hearing that now if you get any information from Q, that's just disinformation. So believe the opposite. Like, call your dads, call your former thespians from high school who went to Blue Man Group, came back, moved to Q. Okay, I'm gonna stretch this for a really long time.
There's no way. No, no. Listen, so that's the part that we continue to leave out. Not us, but general public. There's danger behind these types of beliefs. And as you mentioned, those 2 folks that kill folks because the devil has infiltrated our lives, and it's never themselves that have been infiltrated by the devil. It's always someone else near them. It's their kids, it's their wife, it's their their friends that are surrounding them. It's never them. So as Dave pointed out here, the bad guys will expose themselves. Don't we see the bad guys that are exposing themselves? The ones that are preaching, hey, everything that Q is saying to us is kind of true, but sometimes you should follow everything, but not really. They don't see that that's leading literally nowhere except to kill whoever you deem to be evil. I guarantee you, if there's a group that's walking around saying kill your family members because they might be of the devil, we would have a big problem with that if they called themselves maybe a different religion, maybe if they called themselves Muslims or anything like that. Be like, oh, look at these honor killings that they keep pushing. We have to end this before this spreads. Why is this not something that we're trying to address and make sure?
Isn't that interesting? That's a really good point where it's exactly like if they were Muslim, every single Muslim would be asked to condemn them. If this is a belief, why is no QAnon person saying that's not us? We're better than that. We're gonna stand up and fight for, I don't know, do we want them to be a religion? I mean, Scientology is like, hey, come on, the water's warm. We did it.
Yeah, really fast, you guys, graphic too, because I want to point out some of the things that he's been pushed or predicting that didn't happen, in case you guys forget some of those. So during that Trump administration, Hayes used his quote expertise in decoding Q drops to repeatedly issue warnings and make wild predictions, including a claim in 2019 that a wave of mass arrests would happen within a year and would permanently destroy the Democratic Party, and also predicting that then President Donald Trump would have Obama and Kerry executed by the military. So he said these things. Which one of you guys is the one who's tricking everyone? Is it Q or is it you? Doesn't matter, as long as he says he's listening to Q and Q is telling him, believe it but don't.
Yeah, and it is a telltale sign of a cult is the last thing I'll say. And if anyone knows the telltale signs, it is if you get new information, you fit that into the worldview somehow, you continue to believe what you believe, you don't question your religion or your cult. It is just that was disinformation to throw you off the scent. You're in a cult.
Yep. If it keeps you there, it's the reason why you see it.